Hey everyone, my name is Madeline Ginder, and I am currently a second grade teacher in the Kansas City area, specifically in Shawnee Mission School District. This will be my fifth year teaching in the fall, which sounds crazy to me because I feel like I just graduated from K-State. I am currently getting my master's in instructional technology. If you haven't already, you might see my sister in this course. I'm sure she's mentioned this in her video that we decided to take on the mission of getting our master's together. So we'll be graduating in December, which is super exciting. A little bit about my school district, Shawnee Mission. We are the third largest district in the state. So I am from Topeka, Kansas, where my school district was a lot smaller, where we just had one high school. And here in my district now, we have 5 high schools, 5 middle schools, and 34 elementary schools serving 27,000 students. And we do serve about 14 cities within the Johnson County area, which is just mind-blowing. A little bit about my building. It is called Broken Arrow Elementary. We serve 375 students ranging from kindergarten to 6th grade. And I am very proud of my building as we are very diverse. We've been Title I in years past. And our community is surrounded more with Section 8 housing and apartment complexes. So it's been a fun time learning all about different backgrounds and having these families become a part of my family, really, teaching their students. So as it comes to the support that public schools receive from the 3 levels of government, our first up level of government is the local government, which is formed by school board members, and that's how school districts are created. They fund their budget, so what the federal and state governments give them, they kind of fund the rest through collection of property taxes within the community their district is located in. The voted school board, they are responsible for choosing curriculum for the district, staffing, deciding whether or not buildings need construction or if there needs to be new buildings, created the academic calendars, all of that fun, hectic stuff. Next up is the state level, which is where they provide less than half of schools' funding from income and sales taxes. They decide on kind of what state standards we should be teaching as educators. The most common is the Common Core standards. And finally, they aim to give school districts and the local government the most authority. However, they will always hold more authority over the local government. Finally, the support that the federal government gives public schools is about 8 to 10% of the funding, which comes from taxation. Ultimately, I did want to know their mission statement, which is to promote student achievement and preparation for global competitiveness by fostering educational excellence and ensuring equal success. And to receive that 8 to 10% funding, these public schools must follow requirements from the 3 branches of government, since that money is coming from taxation. And finally, the federal level, they collect data on school performance, they suggest policies, determine whether or not schools might need free tutoring, and they finally measure the outcomes of how educators are teaching and how students are performing. Now, who is in charge of the local government? Those are elected school board members, and they are voted by the public. Superintendents, who generally is someone who's been an administrator in the past, and their responsibilities are the curriculum that their district will be using. They set visions and goals for their community and their buildings. They evaluate the budget they have, and ultimately they're the advocate for the teachers and students. This position is unpaid as it is volunteer. Who's in charge of the state? That is the Office of Commissioner, and in the state of Kansas, that is Dr. Randy Watson. His responsibilities include administering the state's assessments and standards, providing leadership to schools to ensure that their policies comply with state and federal requirements, services for students with disabilities, title programs and services, and most importantly, equal access to education for all students. Dr. Randy Watson's position is paid, and this level is the most powerful amongst the 3 levels. Lastly, who's in charge of federal? That is their Secretary of Education, who is Betsy DeVos. Her responsibilities include ensuring equal education for all students, enabling more decisions made by the state and local governments, overseeing funding, and finally assisting our president with creating education policies. This position is also paid. Now, aligning these levels of government with the components, I felt strongly that component 6.1 is at the local level. Component 6.2 regarding data-informed and equitable resourcing plan that supports school and improvement in student development, that falls right under the state level of government. And finally, component 6.3 regarding laws, rights, policies, and regulations to promote student and adult success and well-being, that is ultimately the federal level of government. Finally, what's the big deal with all the support? In the end, without it, schools wouldn't function. They do way more than what I've listed here, but some things I pointed out is that funding comes from all three levels, which without money, I don't know where we'd be. Obviously, money creates better schools, it motivates the staff, parent involvement, and creates eager learners in the classroom. I really appreciate the collaboration amongst people, especially on the local level, collaborating with teachers and students and parents in the community. That gives everyone ownership and allows them to say what they want for their students and their children. And finally, the resources that support our classrooms. So to support those state standards and to ensure our students are mastering them, we can't do that without resources, creating meaningful learning opportunities for our students. And that is all I have.